There is a new breed called the motivators. Why, why are you so desperate about motivation? What Haryana government thought was, COVID has devastated the economy, shutdowns and lockdowns. Lots of people have come back to Haryana. They're all sitting in Labasna. I've seen people who become sannyasis. They're also there in the next room in Labasna. Point number two, this is very important. Somebody has to teach me something. It's nonsense. Haryana reservation policy for the private sector that got struck down by the High Court, a fortnight back. So I will lay out a framework to understand that. I will talk of the reasons why the policy is made. I will talk of the constitutional basis for objection and the way forward. Because at your age, or even at a much higher level, understanding the intricacies is a challenge. And what you can understand in 15-20 minutes from me is equal to God knows how many productive hours of yours spent alone. And among yourselves also, you're all children. I don't think you could crack it on your own. So I thought I will simplify the entire issue to you so that this is the way to go about whatever else you are studying for your upcoming whatever exam. This is the way to go. Now, is this reservation? We know about reservation, the quota, a certain quantum of seats is kept aside, be it in education, be it in employment, be it in the legislature. That includes the panchayat, nagarpalikas also. It's for social justice. Social justice is, social means what? Groups. It's not individual. Groups can be language, religion, caste, economic, ethnicity. That is social. And of course, gender. So, all social groups enjoying the benefits of progress equitably. You people know the word equity because you are from Commerce College. But the equity that you know is stock market equity. Equity, whatever. Equity that we talk of in political science, political economy, that equity is also similar. Distribution of benefits. Reliance sells shares to a lot of people rather than owning the entire RIL by itself. It shares the wealth of Reliance with millions of shareholders. That's also equity. So equity is distribution of benefits. Now, so you have to distribute the benefits of social progress. Equality of opportunity. Let them go to school, college, university. You're sitting in Delhi University, one of the finest intellectual places in the country, maybe in the entire South Asia, partly because the government facilitated it for you. If all the colleges were like Ashoka University colleges, how many people will be able to emerge as leaders, even while having full potential? So, this is equality of opportunity, etc. What Haryana government thought was, COVID has devastated the economy, shutdowns and lockdowns. Lots of people have come back to Haryana. There's no job for them. They're all disgruntled. They expect the government to help them. And so we can only help them to a limited degree. Let the private sector be compelled to employ them, etc. That's how they figured it out. And they thought they will make it compulsory for the private sector to employ 75% of the employees that they have up to a salary of 30,000 in each firm should be locals. But the investment people did not like it. Enterprises did not like it. They thought, let's have the best, etc., etc. They went to the High Court. To challenge a policy, you can go to the High Court. You can't go to the Supreme Court unless you can show immediate nexus with your fundamental rights. There is, but there is not either. So Supreme Court will tell you go to the High Court and come to us after that. So they went to the High Court and High Court struck it down initially in 1 month. Then the Supreme Court told the High Court, take your time. Don't deny them natural justice. Give them adequate time to defend themselves. Then the High Court took 1 year after that, or 1 year or few months more or less. And last fortnight, I hope you're following me. Yeah. The Punjab Haryana High Court struck it down. with very strong language. What's the basis for striking it down? Follow me very carefully because up to a point it's clear. After that, I need to shed some light on that. Equality. I am from Haryana, you are not. But ours is a common market and everyone is equal. We have only single citizenship. And so, Article 14, equality, requires that you treat all people alike when you are employed. Point number one. Then there can be an introduction of an element of so-called inequality or differentiated equality if you can show reasonable justification. The classification has to be reasonable. Men, women, rich, poor, caste, this, that, ethnicity, this, that. That is a reasonable classification. You know, the citizenship from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, XYZ, all that. Courts may say that's a reasonable classification. So based on that, but this is not reasonable. When a person from Haryana goes to Karnataka, finds a job there, you know, reciprocally, a person from Karnataka or elsewhere should be able to go to Haryana, find a job there. So this is not reasonable classification. Article 16 is about public employment, government employment. And this is not government employment. In the entire Indian constitution, there is no mention of how to provide reservation in the private sector. And Supreme Court hasn't spoken. This is the first time High Court has spoken categorically. So 16 is about public employment. This is private employment. It doesn't come into the picture. Except that in the 16, a parliament is given. If Haryana wants to give some jobs for the people who are from Haryana, domiciled in Haryana, that sons of soil policy again has to be initiated by the parliament, sustained by the parliament, culminated by the parliament. And that's for public employment. So sons of soil policy has to come from only the parliament. And so Article 35 says that. And High Court said states don't have the power. Sons of soil policy, only the Supreme Court can do it. So based on that also they struck it down. Article 19D, you can move throughout the country. Article 19(1)(e), reside, settle in any part of the country. Article 19(1)(g), practice of a profession, trade, business, etc. You're free. So if you are compelling an enterprise to employ people from that area, then you are restricting their freedom. Article 19, freedom to do business, etc. So Article 9, 19(1)(d), E, G, policy doesn't find any legitimacy. 21, I have the liberty to go to Haryana, find a job. So 14, 19 and 21, you're gone. 35, you're gone. And so, you know, this policy, constitutional morality. Ours is a common market, and the morality is we need to integrate the country, not fragment the country. And if you reserve so many further people from Haryana, then you're breaking up the country's market, etc. This is the basis for the Haryana High Court to strike down the Haryana policy of compelling the private enterprises to reserve 75% of the jobs up to a monthly salary of 30,000 rupees. This is the verdict of the Punjab Haryana High Court. So I thought I will give you the legal constitutional picture very clearly based on this. Haryana government can say, under Article 246, division of powers between center and states, there's a concurrent list, which is a common list. In that, entry number 23 is employment, unemployment, social security. Under that, we have done. That only gives you the power, it doesn't give you the power to restrict the fundamental rights. The fundamental rights are once again a barrier to you. And and private sector reservation is a moot point, and no court has settled the issue yet. This is the framework I wanted to share with you. I could pause here for a while. If you have any questions, I can take it. After that, some of our friends have suggested that I take maybe a few questions about whatever you like, anything you like. Current affairs, anything you like. Economics. This is a history, political science society. So that makes me glad because, you know, on the constitution, you must be having some doubts about how to go about this, that. Otherwise, I coach for the UPSC, as one of our friends has introduced me as a coach UPSC. I can help you there also. So it's all yours now. You would ask me whatever you like. I hope you understood what I told you. I rushed because you see, uh, uh, time is short. Otherwise, this topic takes an hour and a half or 2 hours. I think I squeezed it into 20 minutes or less. And I didn't leave out any point. Take your time. Take your time. You ask me. Yeah, I'm here for you. One more thing is, I don't need the mic. So, one more thing is, whenever I see students from Delhi University, I feel quite thrilled because I have a low hanging fruit for conversion of the candidate into a civil servant. But when I see them not making it, I find it inexplicable. You know why? To come to the Delhi University, you must have studied very hard at your plus 2 level and your 10th class. UPSC is an extension of the same. It's just that emotionally you have to be strong. And, there is a lot of mythology going on about this preparation. People deify their teachers, this teacher, that institute, this book, that book. So much of dead weight of mythology on your heads. How can you be at your best? You can't be. You know who is the best? Whoever thinks he is the best is. The day you say somebody else is the best, you are already on the path to losing. Don't deify anybody. Don't think the institute will deliver you. Somebody yesterday asked me, can an institute guarantee? How can anyone guarantee your success? No one can guarantee your success. And, number one thing you should set aside for your success would be blind faith in anything. Blind faith was okay 40, 50 years back. Today, hey, you are in the open AI, Sam Altman generation. So, he doesn't give the same answer twice in 5 minutes. So that is the generation you are waiting for. Which is to say that have faith in yourself, number one. Fundamentally, where you find the problem is in the reading material. That reading material earlier it used to be NCERT, now NCERT is fading out because NCERT it's not getting updated and so on. So reading material is very, very vital. You know, you could have a look at our material that will help you. Reading material is very important. And people tell me, sir, I'm not able to figure out Hindu. I read the Express, I read the Times of India, I read this, I read the Hindu newspaper on your own if you have to read. The smart people are 1%. The rest of the people are potentially smart. Smart people will find their way. Find their way. And others are equally smart but not manifestly smart. Smartness hasn't come out. The low hanging fruit. So, it will take you 7, 8 hours to read the Hindu every day. And I can't guarantee you'll understand that even at the end of those 7, 8 hours. What we have done is, me and our faculty, we crunch the Hindu. That will take you, into fundamentally frequently asked questions. For example, this Gaza thing is going on. Hamas Israel deal. Some of these, one Filipino, 10 Thais, and 13 Israelis, they'll be freed up day one. Israel will free up the Palestinian prisoners, 39. Is this deal? Who is Hamas? America, Israel, what is the nexus there? Why is the West supporting Israel blindly and to the hilt uncritically? Who are the Hamas people? What is Gaza? What's been the history of this problem of the Palestinians? All this, believe me, whether you are a student of commerce or electronics or politics, whatever student you are, it should not take you more than 1 hour today, 45 minutes tomorrow, half an hour the day after. After that, you will have firm foundation about what's going on in the West Asia regarding Israel versus Palestinians. So somebody to simplify, number one, some material where you can get the handout very clearly, number two, foundational books, the Hindu link, and a website that takes care of you. Because you are children, you don't know what to study, what not to study. The biggest problem, what you should study, you are reading 5 times more, number one. And these days, a lot of people are getting swayed by motivation. There is a new breed called the motivators. Why, why, why are you so desperate about motivation? A good lesson is a motivation. Good chapter is a motivation. Lovely FAQ on the upcoming COP28 on the greenhouse gas emissions. That's motivation. Is a separate thing called motivation. If somebody could explain that to me, I'll do anything in return. What is this motivation? In my days, if the teacher taught well about Plato, about Hegel, broke down Hegel for us, if he taught us Karl Marx, false consciousness, that is unlocking us to the skies. But these days, people want motivation. I have no idea what it is. The day you are giving so much importance to non-academic motivation, the game is lost. You're not there in the race. The only motivation is stuff that gets clarified and helps you towards the exam. That's the only motive. Am I right or wrong? I would like some confirmation from you because you got credentials. People are jumping in for motivation. Rest assured, you'll never have your head above waters. That's for sure. But only motivation is what is the recession? What is stagflation? Why does it occur? What is the remedy? Are we anyway there? Is the West Europe the only part of the planet which is struggling with that? Somebody can tell you this clearly, then he is the greatest motivator. The rest all is, there's another word for that, bullshit. Nonsense, time pass, emotional way of passing your time, giving the illusion that you are, on the right track. You are not. You are mesmerized. You are drugged. That's opium. That's not motivation. Opium. The only motivation somebody can teach you about British education policy, trade unions and their genesis in modern India. Or, Mahatma Gandhi, Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose. Somebody who teaches you, takes you closer to the exam. That, in my view, is the motivation. Motivation is what? Motivation is unlocking your energies for the given goal. That is motivation, isn't that? Look up the dictionary. Look up any dictionary. You are working in bureaucracy tomorrow. What is motivation? Your cabinet secretary comes to you and motivates you, which means what? Unlocking your energy for more public service. If you are working for Hindustan Lever, motivation is what? Unlocking your energy so that your goals and the HUL goals converge. And for you, the motivation right now is whatever takes you a step closer to the exam. Will I make it? Won't I make it? Those questions should vanish. Why? The lesson is good. Past years, previous years, question papers I have seen, there were questions on recession. I was, confused about recession. Now, my head is clear. Any article on recession I can follow. Yeah. Then more and more of your energy comes up. Am I right or wrong? You please tell me. Because I don't want to impose any perspective which is self-centered on you. See, it's criminal to misguide you. Your youngsters looking for direction from me. I've had experience, and there's a lot at stake for you. You're in second year, somewhere, final year, and you are entertaining various options. I should be here to push you closer to your goals, no? If I do anything else which is, pushing myself, then that should be a cognizable crime. Huh? You know what is a cognizable crime? Police officer comes and picks you up without a judicial warrant. Local SHO can come and pick me up if I predate on your, future for my self-interest. Understand that? So I am here because I have this feeling. Believe it or not, I have a clear conviction. Delhi University, JNU, that is IIT people, NIT, cream. But then, first attempt success is well within reach. Provided they should start in time number one, given the right material number two, and the Hindu gist number two, three, and anything that happens in the country or outside, crunched and spoon fed. Classrooms are for, adding to that. In which case they are bound to make it. So please don't miss out on realizing your value. Yeah, you have any questions? You please tell me. And those questions should be smart questions. Yeah, you are as good as your question. Yeah, please. Why do people go around in circles even while having all the potential? That's your question. That's what I'm saying in different words. Yeah. So what are the mistakes that common mistakes? There are aspirants and there are aspirants. There are different classes of aspirants. Anyone who is determined to make it, he should be very clear that next 18 months, nothing can disturb me. Very important. Very, very important. No friends, all that, social media. Nothing. Okay? Point number one. Point number two, I have the potential to make it. That faith is quite a, energy boost. A lot of people appear for this exam thinking first attempt I'll get to know the exam. Second attempt maybe I'll advance a little more. Third attempt onwards I'll be hopeful. That is also not correct unless you started very late. Yeah, point number three. Point number four would be material. What to study, how to study. Yeah? Indian Constitution. Somebody's grandfather might have told you read this book and you still read that book. These are the days of open AI. Knowledge changes every second. Knowledge is so cheap. Understanding is everything. Information is so cheap. Previous days, if you are sticking to some biblical work that your grandfather recommended to you, how serious are you? You please tell me. It's stillborn. Stillborn? Stillborn means born dead. No? Rot? Dead. So, material number one, how to study number two. Because it's a high level examination, it takes time number three. Opportunity cost number four. What's the future point number five? Yeah, where am I going? Some people don't go for the management and do this. Yeah. So if you are emotionally strong, intellectually determined. It's very doable. Very doable. But then on a daily basis, not even daily, please. What am I doing this hour? What am I doing till lunch? What am I doing from lunch to dinner? Day is too long. If you plan out on an hourly basis what you are doing, then I'm sure you will succeed. But if next year, the year next, basically mindset problem, attitude problem. Thinking this institute will deliver me, that institute will deliver me. Institutes will kick you out. But institutes exist for themselves. You pass by. No? By the way, operation success, patient is dead. So you have to be smart, open your eyes and sit down without lunch or dinner, no breakfast, no sleep, till you understand the algos. What are the algorithms of this examination? Once you understand them, you will levitate. Yeah. You are on your own. You are on your own. People can help you, but to expect them to deliver for you is, you are expecting just too much. And people play down hard work. Believe me, you have to work very hard. After all, things have to be mugged up. No, Article 14 has to be mugged up, or does it come through from the skies, fall on your head? Mugged up. It is an exam requiring lots and lots of hard work, self-belief. And wherever value is there, from your faculty, there is value, take it. From a book, there is value, take it. But material, daily newspaper gist, and FAQs from other papers. That is the formula. Rest is your sweat. Because of lack of materials and because of people are trying to kill your confidence. No, am I wrong? People are working overtime to murder your confidence because it's a competitive exam. A lot of people lose in the process, isn't it? Yeah. I've answered you. She had. So you're asking me about the relation between fundamental rights and DPSPs. Then my lecture will be completed tomorrow morning. Okay. Fundamental rights are enforceable. Right now, my freedom of speech and expression. Yeah. I have the freedom of speech and expression right now. DPSP is what? DPSP is promotion of international peace and security. That is not enforceable. Guys will keep on fighting in Gaza. India can do precious little. You will try, of course. Fundamental rights, I can go to court, Supreme Court. DPSPs are moral. Moral. This is the basic difference. But this is what I have told you is for a 7th class student. It's far, far, extensive and intensive than this. You're okay. Yeah. What? Last few words? What about family? You said something about the family and all that. You are appearing for the exam. And then what about the family? See, I have seen people go for 3 movies a day every Saturday in a week. But rest of the time they studied. You don't have to give up anything at all. After all, in Facebook also, you can read Times of India, Facebook, tunnel. The 41 people are rescued. Read it. What's the problem? So, it is case by case. What is applicable to you may not be applicable to the other person. So, don't go by again formulae. So, we can generalize. But I've seen people enjoy like there is no tomorrow. They're all sitting in Labasana. I've seen people who become sannyasis. They're also there in the next room in Labasana. So, how can you generalize? Can't generalize. Each one has his own formula. But whatever I've said is the foundational, advice. After that, again, if you go by these sweeping generalized ideas, that may not work for you, isn't it? There may be a very bad teacher, but he works for you. Or he made me IAS. There may be a very good teacher. He's had no impact on you. So, you check your path after this. Yeah.